Welcome back again to our JCI Ireland Meet the Members series. For those of you who haven't joined any of these before, it's where we're interviewing some JCI Ireland members on our national board. We're hearing all about their JCI journeys, what made them join, and what they've gotten out of JCI since they joined. So I'm thrilled to be joined this evening by our immediate past president in JCI Ireland this year, Carol Ho. Carol, you're very welcome this evening.
I'm super happy to be here with you, Anya. Good evening, everyone.
I'm loving the Christmas hat. You're getting into the festive spirit already.
Yes, we just few more days and then like Christmas is coming. So that's good to, put the Santa hat on and join you guys here tonight.
Well, Karen, I'm going to jump straight in because you've had so many years experience and I know that you have jumped into everything, that you've so many stories to tell. So I guess really if we're to go way back many years ago at this stage, how is it that you first heard about JCI?
I heard about JCI not in Ireland though. I'm originally from Hong Kong, so I joined JCI first in JCI Hong Kong a few years ago, back in 2014. So no one told me about JCI. I don't really have any friends joining JCI before me, so I just randomly found out about JCI on Google when I was browsing some something online and then searching some kind of young professional network because at that time in 2014 I graduated from college a few years and kind of feeling bored after work. You just go to work every day and then you figure out what are you going to spend your time after working hours instead of just hanging out with your friends for dinner, for drinks, and you really want to do something meaningful. Because I remember back in the college time, I was always super active in college. I was involved in different student societies, clubs, and such. And then you feel a little bit of not really lost, but a little bit of different, when you get into the professional life, and then you've started to feel like you really want to be part of something. So I started to just browse around on Google, and then I found out Genie Chamber in Hong Kong, and then so I just want to see what is the story of this organization, because the websites, everyone looks professional, super formal. There's an Asian culture there, and I just put my name down, and contact us over there on one of the page on the website, and then I remember few days later, and one of the national membership officer at that time, and then he contacted me by email, and then after that he called me on phone and invited me to join one of the prospective members orientation. So that is some kind of orientation session for some of the non-members, just to get to know what Genie Chamber really is, and if they really want to be part of the group, or and also for lots of local organization, they really want to find out if those people who turn up to the event will be their the suitable candidates to join their local organization. So I joined one of them, and I remember the first orientation I turned up was actually one of the past national presidents. I couldn't really remember who was that because it's been a long time ago, and but anyway, this was one of the past national president from Hong Kong, and then I met a lot of local board members over there. So pretty much it's matchmaking. It's a big group of people, and then in the room, and then you get to know so many people, talking to everyone, and then everyone try to grab the candidates to join their local organization. So you met loads of local presidents. You will not remember their name because too many of them running around. And then anyway, I settled down in one of the local organization there, and then we had a good chat, and I had no clue which one to join because I did not really know too much about what JSI really is at that time. So I just signed up one of the local organization randomly, pretty much, and that was it. And then I started my JSI journey, just from that prospective members orientation from Hong Kong in 2014. So yeah, that was actually a very typical story, I would say, because even though a lot of members who join JSI is from maybe friends referral, or maybe their boss told them about JCI, but like actually a lot of people they found out about JCI is because they saw something online and then they decided to join. So that was me.
Very good. Yeah, we've heard it kind of throughout the series, the different ways that people have joined, and some have been online, some have been word of mouth, some have been newspapers. So it's incredible kind of what first grabs someone's attention. So as we'll both know, because we're both kind of joined around the 2014 mark, JCI is so broad, and we've got the four pillars with business, community, international, and individual. When you went along to that orientation and you got to meet, as you said, a past president and so many local presidents, so it's very different to how we do it, I guess, here in JCI Ireland, with the networks being different sizes. I'd imagine that you were getting a lot of information getting thrown at you, and there was so many different opportunities that were being mentioned to you. What was it that actually inspired you to join? What was that hook that you're like, I want to be part of this international network?
When I remember when I was in the orientation, and also when I was like browsing the website, when I decided to be part of the organization, I saw that like loads of famous names they mentioned like in the orientation. They were saying that whatever name was also the members of this local organization, and whatever name is also like part of this organization before. So and it's actually like pretty like hooked me up to join, because like I suppose like a lot of people, especially the young professional and the young ones, they really want to be like some kind of like like the successful groups. They want to be part of the leaders like organization, just to demonstrate themselves. You want to be part of the good network, so to make yourself to grow together. So like that time I just felt like, okay, that sounds interesting. And then like loads of famous names they mentioned, and then like they were like past members or past presidents, some of them when they were young. So I was like, okay, I just want to see like what's the story here. And then like the membership fee was not too expensive, and I just put my name down and I joined and signed up. So that was it.
Interesting. I didn't actually know that that's how you ended up joining. So even I'm learning something. One thing I do know, though, that some of our listeners or anyone listening back on this might not know, and I think it's a very interesting one, because JCI Hong Kong is very, very different to JCI Ireland. And around the world, while we all have the same mission and vision and we work on similar projects, we're still kind of run slightly different within our national and local organizations. How did you end up going from JCI Hong Kong to JCI Ireland?
That is that is the common story. I always like share with a lot of members that I met in JCI, or I just talk to a lot of like non-members, just try to like encourage them to join. So I was always very active in JCI Hong Kong back in the days. I was a local members, and then not even a year later, and I joined the local board. And I was also like going forward to be like vice presidents, local presidents, like within like 3 to 4 years time frame. So comparing with a lot of members over there in Asia, my JSI journey is like pretty fast forward, comparing with a lot of them, because it's super competitive over there. So a lot of them, if they would like to run for a local president role, they probably like took them like 10 years just to go for it, because like too many members over there in the large organization, so they might not have the chance, like compared with the smaller organization here. So I was super active because I think that like I pay for my membership fee. I really want to get the most out of here. There are loads of international activities around the world in JSI network. I'm like a big fan of attending the area conferences and also a lot of international events back in the days before COVID. So pretty much when I was a local president, I turned up to the Asia Pacific conference in JCI, and then I turned up to the European conference, even though I was from Hong Kong. I just want to see what's the crack, what's the story in Europe. So I really want to explore more. And then before COVID, and then JCI headquarters, they also organized the Global Partnership Summit in New York in the United Nations headquarters over there. So I met lots of JSR friends all around the world like that year. So I met like lots of Irish delegation in this kind of international events. So I remember I met Roland Nisi, which is my IPP after that, and also like Brian Smith, which was the 2016 national president of JSR Ireland. So I met these two boys in the Global Partnership Summit. So I met loads of them, and then we took photos and all of that. So super excited. And then at the year end around October time for the World Congress, I met these boys again, and this time it was in Canada, in Quebec City, for the World Congress that year in 2016. And then I was like, okay, so I'm super excited to meet all the Irish delegation, and then they dragged me in and to support and cheer for the JSR Ireland debate team. So that was how I started, the friendship with JSR Ireland. Actually, in 2016, I met loads of them. I met Melissa, like lots of them, like Kira over there. So after that, so I met my husband to be at that time, which was because Brian connected like both of us together. So my husband was not actually like turning up to the World Congress at that time. So he just met, he just saw me on Facebook. When he found out a photo of me and Brian and also Joanna, which is Joanna is Brian's wife. So like we were three of us in a photo. So like he just randomly added me on Facebook, and then we started to talk. And then I thought that, okay, so this is an Irish name. I thought that I met this boy in the World Congress, but no. So I just pretty much started to, like talk randomly, with him. And then we started to talk every day. And well, everyone know what happened. And we decided to get things serious after that. And so basically like the year after, which is 2017, I was elected as the local president in one of the local organization in Hong Kong. So I sent him an invitation and asking him to just come over to Hong Kong and then to join my inauguration. So my inauguration ceremony, that was a huge event over there in Hong Kong, and then we have like hundreds of people turning up. We have a lot of international guests because my back in the days, my home chapters in Hong Kong, they have a lot of twin chapters, around Asia. So we have international team, a lot of members. They will go to the airport and pick up all the international guests. So I dragged lots of members and then flying the flag, at the airport to welcome kids, to come to Hong Kong. So that was a story how I end up like I have this kind of like a little bit Irish connection over there. But anyway, to make the long story short, we hang out, like for a year, and then everyone was fine. And then after that, he asked me to come back to Ireland to see his parents, and then to meet with JSI Going members after European conference that year in Basel in Switzerland. So and then I met loads of Going members at that time, and then get to know lots of past presidents as well. And then make the long story short, we joined the bus tour to go to see the Cliff of Moher in Galway, and he proposed to me on the bus tour. It's somewhere in Dublin. I have no clue where was that still. I don't know the name of the area he proposed to me, but anyway, he proposed to me, and then we come up with the plan, just move to Ireland, like after the year end when I finish my presidential year in Hong Kong, and then after I doing all the handover, at my work over there in Hong Kong. So and after that, everything settled down. So December 2017, and then I moved to Ireland, after that. So of course, I joined JCI Ireland right away after I moved to Galway. So that was a story why I come from JCI Hong Kong and then switched the camp to JCI Ireland now.
That really is some story, and I know we'd all be aware of it within JCI Ireland, but we have spoken over the series about how, with it being an international network, you have friends all around the world. So if you're traveling, you could just contact someone in that national or local organizations, and you probably have a tour guide for the day, and you can make those friendships. And I know that you're a queen of networking, and you do have friends all around the world. But it just shows that some love stories also come from your JCI journeys as well for some people, and you're a prime example there. With Keith, who's a senator now, and still quite active within JCI Galway and JCI Ireland. So I think it's an incredible story how, two people opposite sides of the world nearly have come together, and you're now very happily living in Galway. So that's a great story, which kind of moves me nicely on to my next question. You've mentioned so much already in your different experiences, from being in New York to Canada to Switzerland. Out of your, say, 8 years in JCI, apart from meeting your husband, what have been some of the most memorable experiences for you? Because you've had a lot.
Yeah, definitely. I have loads of good experience and memories in JCI. I would say like the best experience is of course being the local president. Like my first time being the local president in 2017. At that experience is actually building a foundation in my JSI journey, shaping the way how I do stuff and how I look at like different things differently. Because what happened was like I was actually managing one of the local organization in Hong Kong. So my home chapter over there was not the huge one, it's not like the biggest one over there. Right now we are like the middle sized one, it is not the smallest one. But at that time, I remember like the reason why I was assigned to join that local organization was because at that time the chapter was struggling to get new members in. So the national board, they try to help them out. Whenever they have someone randomly joining, JCI Hong Kong, they will put them to that one because like they just try to, help them out because like they were struggling to get new people in. I found that out later on, I was told after that. And then, but anyway, like after like few years, I hang around in that local organization, and then I started to bring all the new people in, and then I started to do the active recruitment. And then by the time I was elected to be the local president, I have that kind of like skills and knowledge. How can I mobilize a group of members coming from all around different backgrounds and then different expertise, different professionals, different age group as well. I would say because we do have like super young one, fresh graduates just coming out from college, and then I was managing some of the board members, which was like more than 10 years older than me, and then they were on my board. So I need to really know then how to talk to them and how to manage different people's expectation because in Hong Kong and or probably like in Asia in general in JCI, we do have a lot of influence from the past presidents and senators, and we're talking about like the age group. They could be your grandparents, like that kind of past president. So that's super influential. You need to talk to them. You need to call them. You need to check in with them. You need to always like show respect, ask them for advice and all of that. So it's a lot of work, like in a whole years, and you don't get paid to do everything. So running a local organization over there in Asia is really like running a company with loads of stakeholders involved, and you really need to do a lot of projects in the community level, and then you have to involve with a lot of partners. Back in the days in Hong Kong, we organized a lot of huge business project, entrepreneurship related, and a lot of like startup projects. I launched a lot of big competitions back in the days. We drag in a lot of like angel investors, venture capitalists, and like to hold some kind of like big startup events, like a few years ago. So you have to really like talk to a lot of sponsors because it's a big organization. So you have to really know how to run everything. You need to arrange a lot of like media meetings just to like catch up with some of the connection that from different local newspapers or radios. You need to go onto the radio stations to speak and all of that. So at that time I did not have an experience because like it's your first time running the local organization, and it's your first time to do everything. But luckily is you have loads of people to ask around if you got stuck somewhere, and then someone will cover you up, and pretty much you are like if you need anything, and then if you ask for help, someone would jump out and help you right away. So you like, even though you know it's your first time, but you know that like you always have someone to cover you up. So you will have no problem. So at that year, it was a really, really good year, and we hosted lots of projects. We built a wonderful relationship with lots of partners and stakeholders, and we got like a massive membership growth. And then at the end of the day, I was super happy that the local organization was not in the struggling period anymore. And then turned out it was a very, very good year, and we just got a lot of happy members after that. So even though the time that I know that I will have to leave Hong Kong and move to Ireland, and then all my board members, they did a very, very good farewell to me, and then still a lot of them, they still like keep in contact with me, even though they know that I'm now in Ireland. And I was elected again to be the local president in Galway, the second term in Ireland, just right after I finished my term in Hong Kong. That was a different experience. I will not say it is not memorable. It is still memorable one, because it's my first time to be a local president in Ireland. But in my JSI journey, I already have the experience to be local president again. So it will not be the same, like if you compare with the first ever experience, to be the local president. So I remember when I was hosting the national convention in 2018 in Galway, a lot of my members in Hong Kong, they come over to Galway to support us, So that was a very, very good friendship going on. So I just cannot complain anything, because it is just a really, really good friendship. And I always say that to the incoming local president or local board, the best experience in JSI, I would say, is always the time that when you're the local president, because that was the time for you to really like creating impact in your community, getting the most out of it. It's your first time to do it. So that it's going to be the good time. So that is my most memorable experience.
Excellent. And I mean, any of us that know you know that you are like the queen of networking. So it doesn't surprise me to hear that was kind of your journey as a local president, because you're great at kind of having that membership growth. You're so great at bringing people in, but also the way you connect people. I've seen the way you've done it over the years. You create such connections not only locally but on such a global level. And I agree, like as a local president, it's all so new, and that's I think the beauty of JCI. It's such a supportive environment, and it's a really collaborative environment where if you don't know how to do something, somebody else has done it, and they'll show you how to do it, and they'll help you develop those skills. So then when your turn comes, you can pass it on to someone else. And it's a great kind of teamwork and supportive environment where you can just learn by doing, really. And it is voluntary. So, if something doesn't go right, you learn from it, you move on, you put it into practice in your next project. So I think that's the beauty of it. One of the other questions I've been asking people is what was their favorite training that they've done now in 8 years. And I know especially when we got into the pandemic, you'd already attended so many events and trainings, but you were really always engaged. The Effective weekend that you organised in 2020, very early on in the pandemic, has come up as being one of the best trainings for some of our members. But for you, in your years between Hong Kong, online, offline, all the conferences around the world you've attended, and of course here in Ireland and in your local organisation now of Galway, what's one or two trainings that's really stood out to help you?
I have like 2 trainings that I think is really, really good. One of the training, of course, was the one that to prepare you to be the local president in like for your presidential year. So it was hosted by JCL Hong Kong, and it's called the President Academy. And pretty much the people who turn up is only the local presidents, and also the national board. So pretty much like those are the attendees, of that training. And the trainers were the past presidents and a lot of advisors, from JCI. And then what you learned over there, like I cannot disclose like too many like content what was covered, but pretty much it's actually like some of the tips for you, to get the best out of your year as a president, and the art of leadership. How can you mobilize people to help you out without getting paid? That is like the summary of the thing, I would say. But yeah, it's really good, and it's really like helpful. I'm still using a lot of the techniques and what I learned, like back in the days, and it's super helpful. And it's really to the point. Like it is just typical like Hong Kong style, super efficient, no bullshit, and just to the point. And it's really great. And then the second training I would like highly recommend was the Growth and Development Academy, hosted by the EDC team. So this year I'm lucky enough, I'm also serving on the EDC team, being part of Team Europe. And for the Growth and Development Academy, it's actually like, as you said, as you know, saw that from the name, and then it's all about growth and development of JCI. It is not just about the personal growth and development, but more important thing is more about the growth and development of the local organization. So you get to learn about how are you grow your local chapters, how you grow, how are you going to help your members, to grow in the organization as well. So it's a really, really good network of all the participants over there and the trainers, because I joined the one in 2018, and then that was the best academy. The Growth and Development Academy in 2018 was the best in the history. I know that a lot of members in Europe, they will all agree with me on this one, because even though like it's been a few years, and then all the attendees that who turn up to the academy, we used to become like the best friends in JCI, and a lot of graduates from that training, eventually they become the national presidents and serving on JCI Europe team. A lot of them, they are all on EDC this year and next year, and the last few years as well. And then also we have a lot of JSI vice presidents coming out from the academy. So it's a really, really good network, and good bonding friendships. And I would say like this coming year, and then if you saw, there will be like some other promotion coming out about the Growth and Development Academy. Usually it's going to be held before the European conference every year. So it is going to be like a very, very good training. You get to know a lot of friends around the world once again. So I will highly recommend members, just put themselves forward and then to learn about it, and especially the members who are serving on the local board, because what you learn from there is actually like super relevant. How are you going to grow the organization?
Excellent. Yeah, I mean, that's one I personally haven't done in person. I've done the online version and found that one excellent. So I can only imagine in the in-person one. I went to European Academy in Sweden in 2019, so I couldn't do both. So I chose the Leadership Development Academy as opposed to the Growth and Development. But there's been great stories coming back from it, so I can see why that would definitely be one of the memories for you. Carol, you've explained all the places you've been and all the experiences you've had, like 2 years as local president, one in Hong Kong, one in Ireland. You were the JCI Ireland national president last year. You've been on the EDC this year. So, I mean, you've quite an impressive CV within JCI. But do you think that since becoming a JCI member, that it's helped you both personally and professionally, apart from meeting a husband?
Yeah, of course. I would say definitely help a lot. I would not say it is 100% helping. I would say like it's good to be part of JCI for sure, because I start from the professional side first. So I remember the time when I moved to Ireland from Hong Kong, and then I really want to take a break from getting a job, like starting a new career in a new country. So I was not really like super actively, like finding a job or anything like that. But the first job I landed myself into in Ireland was actually like coming from a JSI opportunities first, and then I didn't really share with everyone. But like if any members were watching, and it would be great to get to know. So I remember I was actually the background of myself. So before moving to Ireland in Hong Kong, I always very active in startup community. And then I was always involving in like so many things related to startup in Hong Kong. So I started my startup like a few years ago, and then after that, we operate the co-working space in Hong Kong. After that, and then I was always also involved in like some kind of like digital advertising industry as well. So that was my background back in the days. And then after that, I moved to Ireland. And then I was like, what kind of job I should look around here in Ireland, because I have no clue, like what would be the industry over here, what would be like the main companies and all of that. Like I was still very new in Galway at that time. And then kids was telling me that it's huge in Ireland, like all the tech companies are all in here, and then like you have loads of opportunities over there. But as you know, that as an expat, and then I was totally new here. I don't have any like personal connection or any kind of like connection to help you to get some kind of like referral to land into any like companies. Like it was always tough to start with. So I was like, I'm new in Ireland. I was not in the pressure to look for a job. So I was like having a break, like in the first few months when I was in Ireland. I just started to like make the move and then come over here. I just wanted to enjoy my time, like in Galway. So I remember the time when I was running the local friendly business awards when I was a local president, I remember. And then actually the venue that we organized the event was in Workbench, the Bank of Ireland Workbench over there. It's like a co-working space or something like that. And then so I hosted events over there, and I met a lot of local Galway startups over there. So some of the guys over there, they were from my old company. They were actually like using the free space over there. Like for startups, they definitely have no budget, no money to rent some kind of like fancy office, in Galway. So they were actually like the members of Workbench. And so I met some of them, and then have a chat with them, and then I started to get to know a lot of startups communities in Galway. So that's why, okay, so that sounds like, okay, so Galway is not too bad. There are loads of people, and the startup community, is super active, and loads of good connection over there. So I got approached, and then I was invited to join the meetings with some of the teams in Galway. And then one of the team was actually is now is like one of the superstar startup from Galway, City Swift, and they were looking for someone, to help them out to do some kind of international business expansion, trying to help them to make connection for some international contracts. So basically, like they were doing some kind of bus scheduling optimization, like using machine learning and AI to try to optimize the bus schedule. So probably you are not going to have the problem of waiting at the bus stop and then for like 20 minutes and then no bus come arriving, or probably you are waiting for the bus and two buses at the same time arriving. So that is what actually that company were doing. So so they were saying that, oh, are you interested in joining the company and all of that? So I was like, yeah, that sounds interesting. But I was like, I have no clue what the bus company is all about. I'm not a bus nut. I'm not a big fan of bus. So so I was like, okay, so it's something new to me. I'm always happy to like get to know some new stuff. And I joined the company after that, and I was actually like the first girl of the company, and I was like the fifth employee of the team. And then I hang around with them for like more than 2 years. And then when they hit like around 50 staff members, because they got the fund, they got the investors money, they got the funding from one of the from the investors. So one of the investor was actually the founders of the Ryanair, Deccan Ryan VCs. So I learned a lot in those 2 years. And even though like still I'm not a very like expertise in bus, but now if you want to ask me something about bus, I can talk about it for no problem. And yeah, so that was like that was actually like how I end up landing to my first job. And because people saw you from JSA events, and then you are presentable, and then they know that like you do have that kind of connection, you know, like in other countries. Sometimes people, especially if you are coming from the international background, they probably were struggling to find a good job. But if you sell yourself properly, being presentable, you always have loads of opportunities right here. And then yeah, so that was like the professional side. And after 2 years, and then right now I joined another startup in Galway, which is called Basework. So we do the co-working space management software. So we are the one helping the Irish government and also like some of the other European countries now at the moment to build, you know, like some kind of system for co-working space booking. So currently we are helping the Irish government for the Connected Hubs project, which is like one of the national initiative right now in Ireland. And so if you would like to book yourself in, you know, to use some of the hot desks and co-working space, you can go on to that website, connecthubs.ie. It's like an Airbnb but for co-working space. Right now, I would say a little bit of the promotion before 15th of January. You go onto the website, register, you know, an account on there. You get 3 vouchers for you to use the hot desk for free anywhere in Ireland. So feel free to use it and then explore the opportunities out there. It's super cool. So that was my that was like a little bit of my professional background, you know. But how JSI helped me out from a professional side, I would say it's actually helped me a lot when you know how to communicate with a lot of stakeholders. And then it's actually helping me, you know, especially for my current role at the moment, because I need to deal with a lot of government officials around Europe. You need to get to know a lot of politics and also a lot of knowledge and information around Europe as well. You have to really like get to know who is who, and then a lot of you have to really have some kind of a network and connection to make something happen. So getting involved in JSI help you out a lot, because it is an international organization, and especially this year I'm on European level, so I get to know a lot of information from the EU level. Where are you going to get some kind of like public funding? How are you going to get the grants here and there? What are the requirements? And also if you are like looking for any resources, where are you going to find it? How are you going to find the national connection in Ireland in order to get the assets for the EU funding, that kind of thing. So it's actually very, very relevant to my role, you know, like in my day job. So definitely, if you are like a new member, probably you're too focusing on attending activities in JCI. You're getting very busy. You are you got dragged into do a lot of things, but actually, when you look back, everything you like all the time, and then everything you contribute into this organization, you can get something back later on. Like later on, you don't know when, but it's probably like will help you out, you know, like after that. So that's the professional side. And then for personal side, I would say it's a lot more than professional side. It's a lot because as I said, I'm not Irish yet. I can get my Irish passport very, very soon. But as a newcomer coming out, you know, like you know, coming from Asian countries and then totally different cultural background, and you have a different like upbringings experience compared with a lot of local people here, you know, and you have to really like change a lot to feel adapted, you know, to the new environment, and you have to really like be super flexible, but at the same time you have to be like super open to absorb, you know, like everything around you, because everything is new to you, you know. But in JSI is especially for JSI Galway, it's a really, really good network, I would say, because I met a lot of past presidents. They told me all the stories, histories of Galway to start with, and even though like you don't really feel like you are an outsider anymore, you know, like you got stuck here in Galway. I feel like that's how I feel after that. And then you have that kind of sense of belongings after, you know, like joining JCI Galway, and then especially like everyone, all the local members and here, they just help me out a lot. and you get to know a lot of local connection, because JSI in Galway is super connected. We have a very, very good connection with the local community, with the local government, a lot of politicians and mayors in the past, and right now, currently, the current Galway City Mayor was the past JSI Galway members. So it's very, very good support as well. So you get to know a lots of like stories, histories, the knowledge you really need to help yourself to survive in a new place. That's why I share a lot of my personal story with a lot of international students, and then that's why like a lot of them, they started to be part of it, because they feel like it's very important for them to learn all of this, even though some of them, they probably will not stay in Ireland for a long time. But if you want to stay here, have a good life here, maybe like find yourself a good job, and then like just establish yourself here, you have to really like connect with the local community. So personal side is very important for the expats or the young professional from international background. They need to be part of the group, because it's helped them out a lot. I actually, like this evening, I just doing my Christmas shopping in the city, and then I went into the bookshop, and I found myself two very interesting books. I just want to share with you, Anya, here. So the first one I got it here is, I don't know if you can see that. It's a Pathway to Rebellion, Galway 1916. It's something, a history book of Galway, and they're like, some kind of a part of the Irish history. I just browsing in the bookshop, and I found that, oh, some of the names is very interesting, and I really want to get to know more. So I got this book, and then the second book is the Little Book of Galway. So that's also another Galway history book, and just help myself a little bit. So I really want to know more about the history, and these two books are going to be my Christmas readings. So yeah, like it's really helping me out, to be part of JSI Galway, because I connect with a lot of like interesting people. And then I just feel like I really want to, like contribute, like to go in more, get to know the city more. And that's why I'm still, even though like I'm already the past president, I'm still helping Galway a lot, because I really want to see the young people in Galway, they're doing, like amazing stuff, getting involved in JSI Galway projects, and then serving the community, contributing to the country. This is like what everyone are doing in Galway is actually like helping, Ireland eventually. So that's why I think that like personal side is super, super helpful to be part of JCI.
Wow, it's incredible. And yeah, there's this one thing as well. You're like a sponge. You're always like asking questions and just soaking up information. Like you want to learn and know more. And you're always, as I said, the queen of networking and recruiting. You really did jump straight into it when you moved to Ireland to kind of learn and get to know as many contacts. And as you said, then it helped you professionally as well. So you made your kind of friendships, but also from personally that kind of expanded then from all that networking. So you made the business connections. And I know for myself as well, like I think I've gotten 2 jobs because I was a JCI member, from the skills I learned through them and also from networking. And like that's kind of what led to me then starting my own business, was just the skills I learned to give me the confidence to be able to do it. And I was able to put things into practice within JCI to see if it was something. So definitely, I think while everyone's experiences are different, it definitely does help contribute both personally and professionally. We're already over time because, as I said, you have so many stories. I could talk to you all night, because even every time I talk to you, I still learn something new about you, even though we've known each other for a good few years now. But I'm going to finish kind of on this last question. And this one, I think for you, of anyone I've asked this for, is probably going to be the most interesting response I think I'm expecting, because I've seen you come back from getting takeaway food and be like, oh, we just got a new member. I was talking to them while I was waiting to get my food. Or, oh, I went to the hairdressers the last day. We've got a new member. They're going to come along and see what an event is like. So you do talk about JCI to everybody wherever you go. You're always spreading the message. But what is it like? Why is it that you recommend that people join JCI that leads to them joining?
Because we already like cover a lot of, you know, like all the selling points why people should join JCI, you know. But at the end of the day, it's back to the super basic, because if you join JCI, you will be a better person, you know, like you will have you will learn all the new skills, you will make good connection, you will be like you will definitely like be someone different, you know, like compared with before joining and after joining. So I just every time like I just cannot help myself, you know, like some people get to know me, and especially if I travel to the new places or the new towns in Ireland, and like I sometimes I bump into like some of the people that I know from work or something like that, and then I keep telling people that I'm involved in Genie Chamber, you know, like here in Galway, and then especially last year when I was the national president, a lot of people, you know, like they heard about JCI, and then they know like all the amazing stuff that like everyone in JCI Ireland, you know, I've been doing that. But most important thing is I would say they have to really like take action to sign up first to experience themselves. That is also like the secret magic. How come I always can sign people up? Because even though like you heard me keep like nonstop talking right now for around like 45 minutes, and then you heard about all the stories, and then people feel super excited. I'm like super good at storytellings, you know, like drawing a pictures, you know, like make people to imagine after they sign up what are they going to get. But most important thing is like you listen to me talking, you know, for 45 minutes. Most important thing is you just go on to JSA Ireland website, you sign yourself up. The membership fee will not be super expensive. You are not going to, you know, like we are not going to rob you, you know, you're not going to break your bank. But you will get definitely going to, you know, get what you paid for, you know, for the membership fee. And then when you look back for the whole year, actually you get more than what you pay for, you know, like that is what I always tell the members. So if you think that that's something interest you know, you to sign up to be part of the network, and you don't need to look around, you can just go onto the website and sign up now. I don't know if Anya you're ready, and then to put the link up there to the screen. But if you would like to sign up now, just go on to jsrireland.ie, and then you will find a join us, you know, button over there. You just need to sign yourself up.
There we go. It's up there. It's not linking, but it's up there. jciireland.ie. Carol, as I said, I could sit here and chat to you for hours with all your stories, and you're always so enthusiastic and really infectious the way you talk about JCI. Thank you so much, because I appreciate how busy you are, for giving up your time to talk to us this evening. It's much appreciated. We've got one more person left in our series, and that's going to be tomorrow night as well at 7 o'clock. And that's going to be our incoming national president. So we've gone from last year's national president to tomorrow coming to our incoming national president. So, Carol, thank you so much again. For anybody who wants to join us tomorrow, by all means do, and feel free to ask questions about what the plans are for the year ahead. And like that, please go to jciireland.ie, find out more, and you can just click on the link and join as a member. Carol, thank you so much. Wishing you a very happy Christmas, and best of luck with the rest of the Christmas shopping.
Thank you, everyone.